Welcome back to the third week of my devlog on my new mod that I'm now struggling to make. I remember last week I said that my game plan was to go through the quartz geode model and create all the different variants, in addition to fixing there was an issue with the transparency. And that's what I'm kind of wrestling with at the moment, and I haven't gotten to a solution. So let me show y'all what is actually going on. So the issue is, I'll keep this actually windowed because I want to make sure that OBS is still has it up. So the issue is here, this is, the issue is I can't remember which is which, and they're really it's complicated name schemes because I have to keep all the file names like different, otherwise everything breaks. Okay. And then, actually, you know what? I'm just going to let me make a little platform in the air. Oh my god, this is loud. And we're just going to place every single one down. So, boom, boom. I'm doing it the wrong way. Whoops. Boom, 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 boom. Let's also get some of the other ones. Let's get I'll just go through them all to make sure I've got every single one. Okay, so these are currently all of the different quartz things that I've tried to create models for. So this one, or wait, let me keep it in creative actually, and I'm gonna have these all on my hotbar just so I can easily tell which one's which, because again, the names are really complicated. But so this one is, oh my god, get out of the way, chat. Okay, geode, sandstone, small quartz, flat, druzy, clear, minor. Okay, so this was my first attempt at creating, or just trying to fix the issue with the transparency. So, and also I made it clear, just because I figured it'll make it easier for when I'm trying to adapt this to various like not shades, clarity, I guess. So like it's easier to go through and paint more on top of an already transparent crystal than it is to go through with an eraser and erase it. It's just easier to do that. But either way, so these are the two. Yeah, these are the two cloudy. Minor is the one that through and through 100% works. Although there is still that transparency issue. So I come over here. This is the other one. This one, the transparency is a lot more visible. It's a lot more obvious. And then now, these are the ones that I was trying to work through. So the first one, this is my original test, and you can see that I don't even need to go into spectator mode. Maybe I do. It is kind of hard to see actually. Never mind. But there is some obvious transparency issues and it's really hard to navigate using spectator mode. Okay, so the issue is that there's these rectangles, because I can't use triangles or whatever because it's Minecraft. So there's these rectangles that are intersecting with the outside wall of the geode, and that, because it's intersecting, is sort of just like, I'm gonna let the crystal take priority because it's transparent, and it's just gonna go straight through. What I want is I want these walls to take priority and stop being transparent when this crystal intersects with it, but I haven't figured that out yet. So that's what I've been trying to figure out. And so this was the original test. When I realized, okay, it's not working, let me figure it out. And then that's where all these different tests come from. So this is the first test. This just like a texture issue, so I redid it and I made this one, and I specifically went through and made it so that any of the edges, because originally I thought it was an issue, and this looks weird, I'll explain why that looks like that in a second. Originally I thought, okay, maybe it's because these edges don't have a texture, or they do have a texture though, but it's like It's the blockbench no texture essentially, where it creates a texture for it so that it doesn't break your model. It doesn't say that there's a missing part or something like that. So I thought maybe that's the issue. So let me go through in texture, and I'll make it magenta, so it's obvious, really obvious to see. And the issue is like, okay, yeah, you can see it on some of them where it's like, okay, I can see that, but theoretically, like, oh, that's making the transparency fix, and it fixes it for like here, but not for the bottom. And that's the confusing part, is I don't understand why. Like this and this are doing the same thing, but this works and this doesn't. And then now I discovered something. If I go into creative and I move around, let's move around like to here, and I go back into spectator, I come around and all of a sudden, now, okay, if the spectator mode could function, now I can see through the side. Like, what's the deal with that? And it's something to do with when I'm going to spectator, I can't, like my player model isn't moving, whatever. Anyways, but that means that none of these walls are working, including the one where, and I'll show you all what this situation is. So I figured I could go through and actually create multiple different cubes with a textured interior. I was hoping that either I would be able to see this color behind this and not be able to see anything, or that I was going to be able to not see anything and just see this flat texture. That's not the case. They still go through, and I don't know why. Because I figured that it would I figured that it would be the case that if there's space in the middle, like this is void empty space, that it's not intersecting with anything, and so how is it going to go through something if it can't intersect and go through with it? But then, clearly, it's an issue with the way that Minecraft renders things, I guess, specifically translucency and transparency. So I imagine it's a situation where, let me show you what I'm talking about. If I get like an ice block and I get, let's get a piece of glass. I think this should work, right? You can see how, oh shit, okay, actually, the ice is not a helpful demonstration, but this is. You see how I can clearly go around on this side and like, okay, obviously there's these borders, right? Those borders exist. But then I go around and now all of a sudden I can't see them. And it's something to do with the priority of the rendering, and because this flat thing, I guess this flat face can only be rendered when I'm looking at it from this side. It can't be rendered when I'm looking at it from this side, because the texture of the interior side of this on this side is this color, but then the interior on that little corner is invisible, and so that's what's rendered, or more accurately, not rendered. And so I really don't exactly know a way around this. One idea I had was, and actually just as I'm recording this, is it's possible that it could be an issue with multiple parts, and so there's some problem where, and I'll show you, and oh my god, turn off the nightlight. It's like 7:20 p.m. So whenever I'm uploading or importing something, there's this model texture part, and it's just this single one. But sometimes if it's like messed up, sort of, and let me find one that's actually messed up. Okay, can I find one that's messed up, please? There we go. It'll say model texture part missing. And this leads me to believe that there's a possibility that you could put multiple parts into a block texture, but I don't know how you do that. Although theoretically, that could be a solution. Then again, it could be an issue like glass versus ice. Ice is a example of a translucent block because it's not like, completely see-through. It's kind of translucent. It kind of puts an overlay on top of the pixels that are rendered for this jungle tree. So this jungle tree, there's an overlay of blue on top of it when I'm looking through the glass or the ice, and then looking through the glass, there's no overlay like that. See what I'm saying? I'm assuming that's what translucent means, but that's the setting that I have all of my, like all these blocks are on translucent. Although some of them have this checkbox, and some of them do not, or like have the checkbox like unchecked, but it won't let me check it. And some of them do let me check it. Let me find one that, there's like one of them that lets me check it, right? There was? I swear there was. Okay, now I'm just losing my mind. But I have a feeling it's something to do with this, and I don't know how to fix it. It could be maybe even that I need to create multiple models. Like I create, oh shoot. I create a geode model and I create a crystal model, and it's two different models. And then when I place a block, it runs a procedure and places. Now you can't have two blocks in the same area. Maybe if the bounding. Either way, okay. Well, that's just an idea I'm having in the moment, and I have no idea if that'll work or not. But either way, that's the state of where I'm at. I haven't done anything in terms of making multiple different copies, other than starting to make these translucent, just to starting to make them clear so that it's easier to make the cloudier versions once I figure out this transparency issue. But for the time being, we've not made a ton of progress. But either way, I'll keep you all updated. Hopefully next week I'll find out a solution. Hopefully maybe somebody that's watching this video, even though the last video, I don't even know if it got like 2 views maybe. Let me say. Got 2 views. So I'm sure nobody's watching this one either, but hopefully if somebody does end up watching this that knows what this issue is, knows how to fix it, please put a comment in the comment section. It would make my day. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. I'm too tired right now. I'm not gonna do the outro. I'm actually gonna finish making this video, upload it, and then get straight back to working on more of this shenanigans. Either way, thank you all so much for watching. I will see y'all next week, hopefully with a solution. Bye-bye.